What happens when a Yankees prospect gets so hot that he literally rewrites minor league history? What if I told you that this same player was among our most untouchable assets at the trade deadline, but his scorching performance is making that decision look absolutely brilliant? The answer lies in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where our fourth-ranked prospect just did something that has the entire baseball world talking. Hello, Yankees universe! Welcome to NYY News Today, your go-to spot for the latest New York Yankees updates. I'm here with a story that perfectly captures why patience in player development can pay massive dividends. But before we dive into this incredible tale of power, persistence, and organizational faith, let me ask you this. When was the last time you saw a Yankees prospect dominate so thoroughly that he literally broke minor league baseball? If you're loving these deep dives into our farm system and want to stay updated on every Yankees move, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next in our organization. Spencer Jones, currently our fourth-ranked prospect according to MLB Pipeline's latest rankings, has just become the first player in all of minor league baseball to crack the 35 home run barrier this season. But here's what makes this achievement even more remarkable. This power surge started with one of the most explosive debuts in recent memory. When Jones got called up to AAA Scranton, divided by Wilkes-Barre back in July, he didn't just adjust to the higher level of competition, he absolutely destroyed it. In his first 16 games at AAA, Jones launched 10 home runs in just 69 at-bats. Let me repeat that, 10 home runs in 69 at-bats. That's a home run every 6.9 at-bats, a pace that would translate to over 90 home runs across a full MLB season. But Jones wasn't done there. He added 5 doubles, swiped 6 bases, and maintained a ridiculous 421 batting average during this initial tear. Then, just to prove it wasn't a fluke, he tied on 3 more home runs in his 19th game. We're talking about a performance so dominant that it bordered on video game numbers. And just to show you how hot he's been recently, in late July he had a 3-homer game against Rochester, needing just 3 at-bats to achieve that milestone. All 3 home runs came with 2 strikes, showcasing the kind of adjustment and plate discipline that separates legitimate prospects from flash-in-the-pan performers. Now, what do you think when you see numbers like these? Are we looking at the next great Yankees slugger, or is this just a hot streak that every prospect experiences at some point? Of course, as the article correctly points out, no one can maintain that otherworldly pace forever, not even Aaron Judge or the most elite power hitters in the game. Jones inevitably cooled down through August, which had some questioning whether the July explosion was sustainable. But here's what separates genuine prospects from flash-in-the-pan performers: how they respond after the initial hot streak ends. Jones answered those questions emphatically by heating back up in September, ultimately becoming the first minor leaguer to reach 35 home runs this season. Looking at his full AAA numbers tells the complete story. Jones is hitting .277 with a .562 slugging percentage across 260 at-bats, adding 18 stolen bases along the way. That 299 ISO, Batchick-Sai, which measures isolated power, is more than 100 points higher than any previous season in his career. We're witnessing a legitimate power breakout from a player who already had the raw tools but is now showing the refined execution. The Yankees selected Jones 25th overall in the first round back in 2022 for exactly this type of upside. The question was never about his raw ability, it was about whether he could harness that talent consistently. Based on what we're seeing in Scranton, that development is happening right before our eyes. What's particularly encouraging is his overall ranking trajectory. Jones has jumped from outside the top 100 prospects just 2 months ago to 92nd overall, according to MLB Pipeline. That's the kind of meteoric rise that reflects genuine development, not just a hot streak. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, because no prospect story is complete without acknowledging the areas that need improvement. Jones's strikeout rate is concerning. He's punched out 108 times for a 36.7% strikeout rate, the highest mark of his career. For a player already known for swing and miss tendencies, That's a red flag that hardcore skeptics will point to. But here's where Yankees history gives us some perspective. Think back to Aaron Judge's minor league journey. Judge struck out frequently in his development years, and critics questioned whether his swing and miss profile would translate to sustained success at higher levels. We all know how that story ended. Or consider Giancarlo Stanton, who struck out over 140 times in 5 different seasons before winning the MVP award. The point isn't that high strikeout rates don't matter. It's that when a player possesses truly elite power like Jones is showing, the strikeouts become more acceptable if the production justifies them. What's different about Jones's current performance is the comprehensive nature of his breakout. He's not just hitting for power, he's stealing bases, showing improved contact quality, and demonstrating the kind of well-rounded offensive profile that translates to sustained success. His approach adjustments this offseason, including adopting a wider stance to generate more contact, seem to be paying dividends. This brings us to what might be the most interesting subplot of Jones's breakout: the Yankees' decision to keep him at the trade deadline. The front office was incredibly active this summer, making multiple moves to bolster the roster. They acquired Ryan McMahon from Colorado, picked up Jose Caballero from Tampa Bay literally in the middle of a game against them, and added multiple bullpen pieces including David Bednar and Camilo Doval. Given the Yankees' well-documented need for more production throughout the lineup, Jones represented exactly the type of high-upside prospect that contending teams often dangle in trade discussions. His toolsy profile and proximity to the majors made him an attractive piece for any potential deal involving established major league talent. But according to multiple reports, Jones was among the Yankees' untouchable prospects at the deadline, alongside shortstop George Lombard Jr. This decision reflects a fundamental belief in both Jones's development trajectory and the organization's ability to help him reach his ceiling. Think about the organizational patience this required. The Yankees are in win-now mode. They're chasing the Blue Jays in the AL East, and there were legitimate upgrades available on the market. Yet they chose to bet on their player development system and Jones's continued growth rather than cash in his prospect value for immediate help. The fact that Jones has continued his power surge after the deadline validates this decision completely. Sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't make. So where does Jones fit in our current prospect hierarchy? According to the latest MLB Pipeline rankings, our top prospects are led by shortstop George Lombard Jr. at 25th overall, followed by right-hander Carlos LaGrange at 82nd, right-hander Cam Schlittler at 91st, and Jones at 92nd. Interestingly, Lombard Jr. has had his own breakout season, jumping from 98th to 14th in the Athletics mid-season rankings. And LaGrange has emerged as a legitimate starter after overcoming back injuries, touching 102 miles per hour with improved command. This depth gives the Yankees multiple paths to impact the major league roster. Jones's current performance suggests he's ready for the next challenge. The power numbers indicate he has taken the biggest developmental step of his career. The combination of his 35-plus home run pace and improved overall offensive profile indicates he could be a serious candidate for a September call-up next year, or make the opening day roster in 2026. The stolen base component of his game, 18 steals at AAA, adds another dimension that makes him particularly intriguing for modern baseball. Power-speed combinations are increasingly valuable, and Jones is showing he can contribute in multiple ways beyond just hitting home runs. What excites me most about his development is the timing. The Yankees' outfield situation could use an injection of youth and athleticism, especially as some veteran pieces age. Jones's emergence gives the organization flexibility and confidence in their internal options, reducing the pressure to make expensive free agent signings. The Spencer Jones story perfectly encapsulates what makes prospect development so fascinating and unpredictable. 6 months ago, he was a toolsy but unproven first-round pick with concerning strikeout rates. Today, he's rewriting minor league record books and positioning himself as a cornerstone of the Yankees' future. The organization's decision to keep him at the trade deadline is looking more brilliant by the day. In a system that's been somewhat depleted by trades and graduations, having a legitimate impact prospect like Jones emerge is exactly what the Yankees needed. His journey from Double-A to Triple-A dominance shows that development isn't always linear, but when it clicks, it can happen quickly. The combination of his physical tools, recent adjustments, and organizational support has created the perfect storm for this historic breakout. But here's what I want to know from you, Yankees universe. How do you see Jones fitting into our future lineup? Do you think his power surge is sustainable, or are you more concerned about those strikeout numbers? With George Lombard Jr. and Carlos Lagrange also emerging as legitimate prospects, how excited are you about our farm system's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss what this historic season means for our organizational depth. If you enjoyed this deep dive into our farm system, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more Yankees content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. The future is bright in the Bronx, and players like Spencer Jones are a big reason why. Until next time, keep believing in the Pinstripes.